Here in Taiwan, lunch is $3 to $5. Boba tea is $2 to $3. Tipping is not necessary, it's not expected. So whatever the price is what you pay. And that is so refreshing. Relationships. Here in Taiwan, bro, I don't even have to try. When I came to the US at 16, my goal was to live here forever. It was the American dream. Make a lot of money, date hot girls, have a great life. Less than a year ago, I was planning to visit my parents for 3 weeks in Taiwan. And when I came back, what I didn't expect was that I would stay here for months. And when I got here, I experienced some pretty amazing differences that convinced me to stay. In this video, I want to help you uncover the 4 areas that I believe leads to a great life, so you can make a decision on where you want your home base to be. The 4 areas are in order of priority: health, wealth, relationships, and spiritual connection. Your health is affected by better food, shelter, clothing, feeling safe, feeling like you have a place that's safe. Studies show that strong relationships affect your health, your mental well-being, even your heart. Once you have all that, spiritual understanding and connection to the place where you are gives your life meaning and purpose. And what's interesting when I left the US was that the life expectancy in Taiwan is actually higher. In 2023, it's 81 years, a 0.21 increase from last year. The current life expectancy in the US is 77, and it's been declining rapidly. The other difference is if you get sick or whatnot, you won't go into debt, trying to pay for what insurance wouldn't cover. In terms of wealth, like you guys know, I worked at some pretty big Fortune 500s. And it was good, but I always felt like I was chasing a dream because a lot of my income that came in, maybe it's my fault, a lot of it went out on expenses. And it just felt like it was never enough. Whereas when I came back here, my expenses dropped dramatically. Most people here live with their parents until they turn 30 or when they get married. So your rent costs go away. Food, entertainment, everything's probably 1/3 of the price of things in the US. So everything's cheaper here. It's actually, you can live a good life and things are actually affordable. Tips. So unless you go to a really fancy hotel or restaurant, they'll tack on a 10% service fee here in Taiwan. But 90% of the things you do, tipping is not necessary, it's not expected. So whatever the price is what you pay. And that is so refreshing. I can't tell you how many times I've paid 15 to 20% tip in the US, and I've always gotten used to it, but it's crazy how much more money that takes from your bank account. Culturally in the US, it's like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, I'm gonna hustle till I make it. Here it's like, yes, the work culture is pretty intense, but people also take time to enjoy themselves. And I heard that in Europe and Brazil, it's even more than that. In Taiwan, things get done, but in like Brazil and parts of Europe, it's like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow, it's not a hurry. What's interesting is that productivity is higher in the US equities perform better, but the people are not happier. Relationships. In the past, in the US, I always felt like if I don't put in the work, I'm not gonna get results, right? And I figured out a very efficient system of how to put in the minimum amount of work to get the dating results. But here in Taiwan, bro, I don't even have to try, which is kind of nice. And then I wonder, like, is this what white guys go through in the US? It's like, when I want a date, I can set up a date. I can actually take the time to review whether or not someone's right for me. Dating the US and kind of conquering that in my own way, that when I came back here, it was like playing the game on easy mode again. And I forgot that hard mode wasn't easy mode because I've adapted to American culture for so long. The other thing here is family. People live with their parents until they turn 30 or sometimes later until they get married. And I feel like you don't feel as alone or as independent. And there's pros and cons to that, right? But you feel like you have a safe base of operations. So it's like you're not alone in the world, just trying to conquer the world on your own, especially as an immigrant. So let me give you some cost breakdowns, right? In the US, places I've lived, LA, Vegas, San Diego, right? When I go eat chicken pho, pre-pandemic, chicken pho was $7.50. Okay, now it's $17.50. So that's more than 2x the price. Grocery costs for a single guy like me was $50 a week before. Now it's $120 a week. In the US, I felt trapped just trying to make a living and make enough to spend money. Here in Taiwan, lunch is $3 to $5. Boba tea is $2 to $3. A dentist appointment for teeth cleaning is $20 without insurance and $2 with insurance. A massage is $40 if you decide to tip. Mini golf is $12, sushi to go is $3. I can literally spend $40 a week here and have a blast. In the US, $40 is one lunch in Vegas and you're done. So because of this, it gives me a level of freedom that I didn't have before. It's not the cheapest Asian country, but it's one of the most advanced Asian countries. The cities are very metropolitan. You can do a lot of activities and you still have the affordability. Most people speak English. Girls are educated, classy, stylish, feminine. They're a little bit too shy or too meek for me sometimes, but for the most part, they're extremely pretty. Unless you're into like diverse girls and you just want to date more than Asian girls. The expats here, there's some of them, but they're only here for a few months and there's not a lot of them. So these are some things you may consider if you are thinking of visiting Taiwan or moving here. 20 years ago, right? The US was like the American dream. I wanted to go there. I wanted to live the American dream. But now, with the world having changed so much, I think it's important to stay flexible and really ask yourself, where can I have the most health, wealth, relationships, spiritual connection? What's the best situation for me? What place is gonna treat me the best based on what I want? And that may be different for you, depending on your priorities, right? So yeah, I would say if you've lived in a place for over 20 years, consider taking a trip somewhere, completely different continent, and just see things from a different perspective, because sometimes we get trapped in our ways and our thinking becomes less fluid and less flexible.